Happy Wednesday, my friends, from a very steamy and hot and intemperate New York City. We have one of the best stories today. If you have not seen Candace Owens eviscerate, humiliate, execrate, destroy, manhandle, decimate, dissect this Victor Marx character, if you haven't seen this, you're missing something which is beautiful. And we're going to talk about this. And the question we have to ask is, why in the name of God do these people go on, of all people, her show and end up coming out worse? Nobody knew what a lunatic this guy was. Now, there's no doubt about it. I don't get it. We are in a level right now of exaggeration, mendacity, fabulous, what does she call it? Fantastical. But he's a fabulist. He's a promoter of fables. It's all these people on these military channels. You know, the sheriff of Baghdad, and I was a SEAL Team 6, and I rappel into jungles and rescue kids. No, you don't. It's always easy to say, "Oh yeah, I did that." Where? Well, you wouldn't know about it. It was in Malaysia. That's right. That's the ticket. We rappelled in and we saved 1,500 kids. Who are they? Wow, I can't tell you who they are, but it's the level of lying. It's one after another, from Erica to this guy. So anyway, you've got to see it. It is unbelievable. I will dissect this because I didn't think I'd enjoy it this much. I just love really good lying. And baby, this is really good lying. But first, a word from our sponsor. My friends, this is bigger than most people realize. While everyone watches missiles and fighter jets, the real battle is happening in the supply chain. Nearly every advanced U.S. weapon system depends on tungsten. Yet America has barely mined it domestically in years, while China dominates global supply. Washington is now racing to fix that. The Pentagon has committed millions toward restarting domestic tungsten production, and President Donald Trump's Project Vault initiative launched a $12 billion critical mineral strategy to secure American supply chains. That's where Vault Strategic Mining comes in. Trading as KNOX in Canada and KNXFF in the U.S., Vault is building a strategic tungsten portfolio anchored by historic Nevada projects tied to past U.S. defense production. With tungsten prices climbing and global tensions rising, this is no longer just mining. It is national security. Check out the link below to learn more, and special thanks to Vault Strategic Mining for sponsoring today's video. Now, my friends, a couple of things here. I got to tell you how this happened today, just for your edification and review. Some of the folks I don't think are very interesting. I don't think they're not important. Some of the TPUSA crowd, they're not very interesting to me. They're average run-of-the-mill kind of bullshit artists, or their children. There's really nothing. I mean, they're liars, but or they're just whatever. They're just not that interesting. So anyway, I said, who's this Victor Marx? Don't ask me. I wasn't going to watch it. I don't know why. Not that I distrust in any way Candace, but I'm thinking, sometimes I don't know if these people are that interesting. For me, boy, am I glad I watched this. I can't believe this. Because first and foremost, there are these little boys out there, these little G.I. Joe tough guy wannabes. They want so hard to be Rambo or something. And all of these shows, from Sean Ryan to all these ones, guys walking around covered in tats. I was in the military. I was in combat. Okay. All right. I was Delta Force. It's like, man, okay. Have you ever met, very quickly, do you know anybody from your past? Perhaps maybe somebody like your grandfather or your great grandfather or a brother, somebody who went to war. Remember that? And they never talk about it. They don't have, things on their wall, I mean, they're just, they don't want to talk about it. In fact, the number of stories I have are friends of mine who went through their father's like belongings. They found all this stuff from my one friend. His father was on this boat in Pearl Harbor. He almost died. Virtually everybody on the boat had died. I mean, he never said it. These were people who, maybe bragged about other things, but war and everything was so devastating. They just never talked about it. I've seen this my whole life. You've always heard about this. Not anymore. Hell, we got podcasts left and right, and they all are the same. They all have to be covered in tats, hat backwards. Got to get that hat backwards. You got to get the look, the thing. It's just, I can't tell one from the other. I can't tell one from the other. And I never knew who these people are. And this guy, Victor, he did that famous, I can take a gun away from you. We put it to my head and all this stuff. It's not like they're trying to help you. It's about bragging. Look how tough I am. It's not to help you. It's like, listen, ladies, if you ever find somebody, with a gun to your head in a parking lot, maybe that's okay. That's not what this is. This is, am I bad or what? I am so bad. What was it? Delta tough. And now we have the battle of the CIA people. John Kiriakou against the guy with the beret and the Bustamante. They're all arguing. Well, I was on the grassy knoll. It's like, what are you people talking about? This is just crazy talk. Not John, mind you. I like him, and there's all these other, and then you have these experts. Here's a real sniper. Remember all the people who supposedly took out bin Laden? What about 10? I was there. No, you weren't. Really? You were there? Yeah. Really? Do you have any pictures of it? Well, we don't have pictures of that. Why? Well, we give him a burial at sea. A burial at sea, the most important person. Why don't you show a picture of him so you can show to all the people involved that their beloved hero has been dispatched? Oh, no. What? Where did you get this burial at sea? In the Quran. In the Quran? Burying at sea? You do know this was kind of a deserty kind of place. Burial at sea was not really big on there. Do you see what's happening? We're being imbued. We are so bereft in this country for heroes. And we have so many little boys. Bobby Kennedy, Hegseth, poor Kash Patel. I'm getting late. I mean, they're like little boys. I'm doing pull-ups. I can do pull-ups. Come on, let's do push-ups. Let's do push-ups? What is the matter with you? Patton never, George C. Marshall will look at you and go, pull-ups? Pull-ups? What are you talking about? Who are you? We're from the G.I. Joe generation. We're these little boys who eat raw meat and ultimate fighting, and let's fight and kill and fight and this and fight. Meanwhile, as we run around on the ground with our heads between people's legs, buried in somebody's crotch, look, I got news for you. I thought golf was stupid, but that's ridiculous. And if you don't see a lot of homoerotic stuff here, if you don't see this, if you don't see a lot of people hiding behind this overtly hyper masculine, then there's no hope for you. Then you haven't lived long enough yet. I have seen stuff and you have seen stuff. The more tribal the masculine conviviation is, the more you should be suspect of this. And it goes back, oh man, one time I remember when I saw a bunch of firefighters and I thought, I'll bet you if they had their druthers, they'd rather be married to each other than married to their wives. I swear to God. I'm not saying this about everybody. So what I'm saying is step back. When you see somebody say something, first of all, be able to pick up trends. I'm seeing this all over the place. Number two, ask yourself, why are they doing this? What's the story? Number three, is this a YouTube or kind of a trend? Is this something where, remember how all of a sudden there were these people online folding stuff? Remember that? Oh, I fold. You fold? Yeah, I fold. You fold stuff up? Steve Masalti says, loving the UK friendly times, Lionel. Also, what a disgrazie of a man this Marx is, and his only love for our queen. And as always, our love for our Queen Lynn. Oh, thank you, my friend. You have no idea. Oh, you have no, if only you knew. If only you knew. But anyway, but thank you for that. I will convey that message to her. So anyway, let's start with today. This one just, I thought, who is this Jadrul? Who is this guy? What are you going to do? Candace goes up, takes his cojones, his culiones, and takes him off with a straight razor, goes, here you go. There you go. You can put him up on the wall yourself. I don't want him. This guy is unbelievable. So in review of this, the Victor Marx, by the way, his name is not Victor Marx. Just like, have you seen JD Vance? He's got like 4 names. How many names do you have? 1. You might have a maiden name. This guy's got 4 names. Who is, what? You see where we're going with this? You don't like your personality? Become, it's called the Charlie Kirk phenomenon. You don't like who you are? Be anybody you want to be. Be all that you can be. Make yourself up. Anyway, the Victor Marx interview, shadows and scripture and suspicion after Charlie Kirk's dispatched. So supposedly in those hours, those frantic, horrible, terrible hours following his expurgation from reality on September the 10th of last year at Utah Valley University, at UVU, the movement, whatever the movement is, I don't know if this is the conservative movement or the Christian movement, but the movement was reeling. This young man, never forget this 31-year-old founder of Turning Point USA. By the way, he wouldn't even recognize his organization. They've stripped it down. They've just defiled it. They've desecrated it. But he was felled by a sniper's bullet during a public event, during his one of his many public appearances, and his death was confirmed amid this blur, this kind of a phantasm of grief and security failures and all kinds of security theories. Blurry Lionel. I don't see that. Maybe. Looks good to me. Let me see. Let me try something here. Let me see something here. Let me see. Let me try something a little different here. Let me see if this makes any difference. Is it still blurry? But still coming through fine. That's good. Is it still? Let me do this. I'm going to try something a little bit. I'm going to just don't worry. I'm going to adjust this real quick. I'll come right back. Just right back real quick. Hang on here. Okay, is that better? Is that better? By the way, just don't save any kind of a. Is it just tell me if it's okay? Because it'd be okay. Now it's okay. Well, it's your autofocus. What you need to do is you need to reboot your go to your cache, purge your cache. No, what you got to do is, and then we get 20 minutes of this. What you do is take your Fosteris and your Gaben, flush your cache, go to your Gaben, put it in a transfusional, bifusional, Go from AFX to DFM, and then go to auto and purge your pixelation. Okay, you got that? Clear now, clear now, clear now, everybody? Okay, terrific. By the way, it's always a great troll. Whenever somebody, the background is blurred. Thank you, Richard McCarthy. Somebody tell Dick, it's blurred on purpose. Yes. Okay. that's an effect. That's deliberate. Just want to tell you something, okay? Okay, just want to tell you. That's also very funny. Seriously, whenever you walk into somebody, hey, how come I can't hear you? There's some poor guy says, what? And then it's the oldest troll in the book. It's phenomenal. Years ago, I'm going to tell you this story because it's so great. I'm going to interrupt what I'm doing. Years ago, there was on 60, what the hell is it called? On CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. They had these people. They had remember the set, so it's years ago. And they had these people, typing away or whatever. So this one guy calls up the local CBS affiliate, says, yeah, listen, this is, he called the CBS switchboard. He goes, yeah, this is Dave Reardon at KNXFF in Sheboygan. Listen, I'm getting a white background drop fade for Stujal Gabion on a Pasteris modal. And I got to get a hold of, can I get to somebody on the set of Dan Rather right now? Can you connect me? I want to go specifically. You see that girl who's back there? And there was this one girl typing away. You see her? She's got on like a white blouse. Yeah. Can you connect me with her? Do you know who that is? Can you connect me with that woman? Yeah. So sure. This is the story. So he apparently calls up and he can see, he goes, hello. He goes, yeah, this is Dave of Vahujal and the KMOZ and the Sheboygan. Can you do a white balance test for me just to make sure? What does that mean? Do you have any white paper? Can you hold it up and move it like this so I can zero in on the Can you do this? Can you So this woman is going like this during the event, during the live broadcast. It's live, and she's going like this and like that. Like semaphore, Anyway, so the story goes. Okay. So back to what we were saying. Where did I leave? Yes. While everybody was going crazy, one voice, if you recall, cut through the noise earlier, interestingly enough, as Candace brings up, than most. And that is Victor Marx, Marine veteran. 3-year, not 2-year, Candace. God, not 2 years. 3. How dare you sully the names of all veterans by this Scrivener's error, where you're suggesting I was in the Marines I was in there for 3 years. How dare you? And Candace is saying, blow it on your ass. Come on, take it easy. Would you apologize? I'm not going to apologize. Duly noted, for God's sake. It's the only thing he could say he was right at. So this Rambo, this Sergeant Rock, Marine veteran, self-styled anti-trafficking rescuer, candidate for governor of Colorado. Can you believe this? And he posted online that Kirk was gone. Then, for some reason, he swiftly deleted it. Now, I don't know about you. So roughly an hour and 20 minutes before official word came from the president, old Victor Victoria already seemed to know. And days later, that early knowledge would become the focal point of one of the most uncomfortable interviews in recent media. On Owens' show, Victor sat down expecting, by his own later account, a kind of debate. And what unfolded really instead was this kind of a tense, often kind of an evasive, kind of a surreal hour or so that left many viewers, many people, even hardened political viewers, describing the energy as creepy. And you know who was it? Fredo, who does a wonderful job also. Fredo called it narcissistic, psychopathic. He's not smart enough to be a psychopath. No, psychopath is up here. She said it best. Creepy. Icky. Skeevy. Skeevy. Okay. Decidedly unsettling. So Candace opened by trying to guide the conversation chronologically, beginning with old Victor's personal biography. She cited reports from people. Now, this is good. Close to him, questioning some of the more, dramatic elements of his testimony. The inflection point, she highlighted, Victor's repeated claim that as a 3-year-old child, as a 3-year-old child, an adult somehow forced him to behead or decapitate a cat and wear its head like a grotesque mask. From a purely logistical point of view, how do you do this? Okay. Oh, I think it was already, mortal. Okay, here we go. I got it. Look at me. I'm Kathy Griffin. Look. Now wear it. Wear it. Oh, it's a little, how big is a cat? Wear it. How do I wear it? Even a 3-year-old said, 3? I'm going to do what now? Wear it. Why? Is this a part of some kind of weird, kind of a satanic ritualistic? I got to wear. Can I just wear it as a brooch? Or, no, maybe a pendant. I got to wear it. Wear it. Wear its head like a mask. What? How do you do that? If your head has to be smaller than the cat, and you got to take out. Listen, I don't want to go through this whole thing. It's just crazy. It's crazy talk. You got to core it out, and you pull the stretcher. Is this good enough? Some type of ailerophobic nightmare, some dystopian grimalkin popped it. And then at seven. Oh, you're buying that story, right? I did what? Who did this? Who was this person? I don't know. Somebody, some dude, I get. And at 7, he said he was forced to actually take the life, to unalive someone. I'm using this. And you don't know who, where, when did you do it? And these stories had appeared across, podcasts and church stages and ministry materials for years, beginning with this. This is Candace. This is a quote. Beginning with the story about beheading a cat and wearing his head at the age of 3. That's a great way to start off a sentence. Candace said, it's not an easy thing to behead a cat, and I have a lot of toddlers, and do you stand by that? Candace is trying to say, well, I'm a mother, and I can't even get him to sit still to watch a show, but I'm going to say, here, do what I say. Wear this smelly, bloody, it's insane. So Mr. Marx didn't answer directly, he said. Instead, he pivoted a little bit and he said, quote, let's start with what's most relevant right now. The latest accusations by your last guest, Corby. Wait a minute, what? Hold it. I want to get to the cat. You said, when? No. How about Ellen Corby? Remember she was Grandma Walton? Remember her? With Will Gear? I digress. Ask your parents. So for nearly, 7 minutes, he redirected, I guess, the claims involving Corby Hall, who I think is also running. Isn't he running or something? Yeah. Alleged homicidal threats, FBI contacts, and warnings he said he had given to Owens' own team not to platform the man. Don't you dare. He's ill. He's sick. It's like, we're not talking about Corby. We're talking about you. Was Corby forced to wear a cat head at the age of 3? No. Was Corby forced to take the life of somebody at the age of 7 with your finger on the, what? So Candace repeatedly steered back and said, you're on my show. I'm going to guide the conversation. Okay? You got that, bucko? Here. You got that? And so Victor kept pressing on, demanding she acknowledge messages from Corey about not hosting Hall again. It's the weirdest, it's the strangest thing. And the exchange, rather this give and take, set the tone for the entire interview. I mean, it was a battle for, I guess, control of the narrative. I don't know. So when Candace finally extracted an answer on the cat story, Marx declared, of course it was real. Can you imagine that? Top of the world, Mark. All right, Sparky, put the gun down. You don't know what I've been through. Oh, yeah? What you been through? At the age of 3, I had to decapitate a cat and wear his head on my head. What? I had to put the cat head on, wear like a mask. You got me there, kid. Go ahead, shoot away. You can't blame this guy. But all of this reluctance, the deflections, the kind of adjustments, if you will, and the intensity, all of this, which he guarded his personal mythology, left many viewers, well, rather cold. Candace also noted discrepancies in his military record. Now, initial research, this was a big deal. Initial research had shown 2 years of of a Marine Corps service, right? 2 years. Marx corrected it to 3 years on a specific team and demanded a public apology, framing the error as disrespect to veterans. Don't you understand? It's 3. You said 2. This is basic review 101. What are you doing? Candace says, all right, take it easy. It was 2, 3. All right. Apologize. I'm not going to apologize. For what? You said my zip code was 11203. It's 11204. Apologize. Jesus. It wasn't a cat. What kind of cat? It was an American tabby. It wasn't a Siamese. Get it right. Okay. So Candace, of course, offered to update the record, but declined a formal on-air apologia. No contrition, no expiation, nothing. She called it a clerical mistake, scrivener's error, as we say in law. So, but Victor persisted. Veterans don't like to be misrepresented, he said. And the moment kind of all came together and crystallized for a lot of us as what they saw was a pattern. Laser focus on small errata, little errors, while larger, more serious questions received complete deflections. And the conversation then turned to Marx's involvement. Oh, there's one more. Remember the one where he was saying, so did you contact the sheriff either about Corby or Corey, or whoever the hell he's talking about? Did you contact the sheriff's office or the law enforcement? Did you go into the office? I did not. I did not go into the office. How dare you? I called him on the phone. Oh, okay. So this is when somebody just finds anything they can hang their hat on. See, I was right. And then you talk about Victor, by the way, his involvement with TPUSA and the whole Kirk family. I mean, he acknowledged this by praying over Charlie Kirk, sometimes in his office. Described sessions that included retooling prayers involving angels and demons. Oh, he's a certified exorcist. And he talks to the demons and he knows them by names. Larry, Murgatroyd, Alphonse, I know them all. He knows them. And he says, well, Candace, do you believe in demons? Yes, I do. Were you ever the victim of any kind of abuse? He goes, what the hell does that have to do with it? He realized, like, what the fuck am I doing here? Disarming that plastic toy gun from some stranger was a lot easier than this. Oh, he also said that Charlie had invited him. And Candace asked him about any falling out between them, and Victor Marx denied it outright, pointing to current social media follows as proof. Yet sources within TPUSA circles had whispered of tensions. You see, Victor brushed them aside. Then came the section that chilled many. I like the word chilled. It chilled many people watching. Candace asked how Victor had learned of Kirk's death so quickly and why he had posted and then deleted the news. How's that, Mr. Cathead? Cat scratch fever. Da, da, da. Remember that one? It's that great Kenny Loggins. Someone killed a cat. That is that. There's a song. Someone killed a cat. Kenny Rankin, my great friend. All right. So then Victor explained that someone texted him that their son was at the event and, quote, it doesn't look good. So he said his team, he's got a team including former special ops personnel and combat medics, his team, a lot of good they did then. They didn't do diddly squat when Charlie was hit. They were just taking SD, memory cards out and walking around and threw him in the back of a car with his legs hanging out. No, nothing. A lot of those special ops Delta folks, they weren't there then. Anyway, they reviewed footage of the shooting, according to these people. And from that single viewing, he concluded that Charlie could not survive. And he posted someone else announcing it, then removed the post because it felt wrong. It just felt wrong. You know what's right and wrong? Almost in the same breath, he described texting Erica Kirk directly, quote, and this is the one that people said, huh? Quote, nobody's going to kill you. You're safe, you and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. What was that about? That phrasing, that particular, it landed a little heavily, don't you think? And on the day, a young widow, remember she was a widow then, before we knew anything about her. On the day, a young widow learned her husband had been murdered. A man outside the immediate family was assuring her that the killer's motives were limited, that she and her children were not targets. Oh, that's a relief. Well, thank you. And during the recounting of this, Victor paused mid-sentence, glanced kind of off camera, maybe for the effect, like as if he's catching himself or receiving direction or something. Then he continued. The moment, again, captured on video, fueled endless online analyses. Some saw a man carefully editing his words in real time. Others saw maybe discomfort under pressure, or maybe just a dumbass who had contracted some kind of weird feline toxin from wearing decapitated heads as masks. So Victor then, he kind of reframed the text, as comfort. Don't worry, they're not after you and your kids. It was just after him. Oh, thanks. So he and his team had gone to support Erica in the immediate aftermath, and photos circulated of this is interesting, of Victor and his colleagues and associates with the grieving widow. Images, some described as, believe it or not, you ready for this? Strangely staged. Can you believe that? Anything with Erica staged? With Erica dubbed Princess Warrior in certain posts. You love this? Now, these collective optics, these views and everything, combined with his unusually, what would you call it, prompt knowledge, raised a lot of eyebrows and suspicions across social media and conservative forums. In fact, Candace kept, again, pressing and pushing further on his ministry claims. His organization's All Things Possible has long promoted dramatic numbers of rescues from trafficking. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Look at this one. Ginger Mama says, hello, Grandpa Lionel. Love from Australia. The way he demanded Candace Owens share an ordinarily private and personal experience, if she had been abused before, disgusting. His interview was very telling. Oh, I don't. And thank you. Oh, absolutely. He didn't know what. Not only that, he's an exorcist and can tell the names of the demons by their names. And Candace says, well, I'm a Catholic, and we kind of wrote the book on that. And And she pretty much told him what he thought. But going to this one, and by the way, thank you very much for your kindness. So he has this organization, All Things Possible. And they've advanced and promoted this idea of these dramatic numbers of rescues from trafficking. He once described helping more than 45,000 women and children. What? Always foreign, always someplace else. Always a well, that's classified, and I can't tell you who they are because that would, of course, compromise their safety. And clips from past interviews, including one with Sean Ryan. By the way, Sean Ryan gets all the nuts. I mean, all of them. Have you ever noticed the World War II guys who are real serious? You go, well, by golly, yeah, I was there, and these guys just said they're all covered and stuff. They're more. Look, if you can't see what's going on, look. Let's face it. During World War II, some paratroopers shave their heads, their hair like mohawk, But it's kind of a cottage industry. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, on the Sean Ryan show, he appeared to confirm that figure: 45,000 help saved, removed from harm's way, and then archived versions of his campaign and his ministry websites carried similar language. Yet on Candace's show, Victor flatly denied ever saying, stating, insinuating, or endorsing 45,000 rescues. He said, quote, "We would never put rescued 45,000. He insisted, even as her producers said, here's the evidence. And so that denial, which was delivered with visible kind of frustration, added to the unmistakable perception that his public story, the public narrative, the fable, contained elements that were not consistent, that were shifting at best. And throughout the interview, Mr. Marx positioned himself as the protector of children, the battle-hardened operative, the spiritual warrior who had overcome unimaginable trauma to serve. And he spoke of commanding demons. That's right, of commanding demons. I command you, I do, of private security work, of deep connections in counter trafficking and political circles. Oh, he does everything. You name it. He repels. He makes the demons wear cat heads. He can do anything. I mean, anything. And he could take your gun away, provided it's plastic. Then it's okay. Now, Candace, of course, questioned this. She used a great word, fantastical. I like his fabulous references, but it was fantastical claims. And the fantastical quality of some of his stories and the overlap between ministries and security figures and political influence and all these weird military ops. So Victor then largely, sidestepped, any kind of deeper and expected and warranted verification. So after the show aired, Victor released his own video, seated confidently with his team behind him, and he declared the interview 1 hour, no moderator debate, in which truth prevailed. And he said he held no anger towards Candace and framed the entire appearance as validation of his record. That's kind of what Trump does. This is genius. Trump just declares victory. Well, we got it. You did? Oh, yes. We destroyed the Iranian army. We did? Yes. And the Navy. We did? Yeah. Okay. Just say you did. And many people, by the way, who watched it, people who commented, saw it a little differently. And the comments were pouring in. The comments are phenomenal. X, YouTube, Telegram channels, narcissist, gaslighter, manipulator, the energy felt evil. And some said they couldn't even finish watching. I did. I loved it. I'd love to have this reenacted by people in like some lower, some little off Broadway, get famous people to just read Victor Marx and do their versions. Oh, no, he did receive some praise for standing firm against what they viewed as an ambush. Ambush? She just asked him about what he said. And the differences and the divide, as you can imagine, were sharp. And I think some people are suggesting it reflects kind of a deeper fraction. I don't know anybody who really believes him. I don't know anybody who believes him. And here's the bottom line, which is something which is very true. If there was a message you can get from this, from watching this, and please, I ask you, watch it, tell me what you think. It is very simply this. He doesn't come across at all as believable. You see, we have words in our collective vocabulary for people who are lying, people who are full of it. And you know, and I know exactly why we say that. By the way, some great comments. Your comments are just phenomenally great. Linny Helen says he was insufferable. Indeed. Cheryl Light Ortho Girl says it was very obvious. He is used to controlling the conversation. I loved her quiet refusal to allow it. She is truly the queen. She is also, you've got to be crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. It'd be nice. I should do that. That was that one. It was very obvious. He is used to controlling the conversation. I loved her quiet refusal to allow it. And of course, our dear friend, Lenny says he was insufferable. Now, this is the part which I really don't understand. Why do people do this? Why do people do this? For the longest time, I've always been fascinated by how juries decipher believability, credibility. And there's certain people you just sort of believe in. And unfortunately, and I think many of you wonderful people of faith know in particular, and this is critical, you know that in your world, there are people who can say virtually anything. And you have to ask, do I give them a chance or not? Our good friend Ginger Mama says, thoughts, prediction, Marx will win Colorado in a similar fashion as Massey lost. He said the cat had bled all over him, but now if dead prior, oh, I love this. You're talking about exsanguination. This is interesting, kind of a feline post-mortem. We need a Michael Baden kind of after the fact. Listen, I don't know what to believe at all. I don't know what to believe. As far as Massey goes, the Kentucky, people are always forgetting, the voter makeup was older and very, very more, dare I say, pro, I don't want to say MAGA, but just, you know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't mean he's not a good person. See, great people are sometimes in the wrong district, if that makes any sense to you, right? Some people are in the wrong district. But I want to say something about this. You in particular have to realize that there's nothing worse than somebody who uses faith as a means of deception. Somebody who is the blatant atheist who says, there is no God, you're out of your mind, you're crazy. That's one thing. You can deal with it. You can say, okay, whatever it is. The worst person who uses your faith and co-ops it. The one that you should be disgusted by is this Dana White. Upataka, putekatatika pika. She's speaking to the devil, always in this Tarzan African. I was studying this, faith healers, Benny Hinn, Ernest Angley, faith healers, the money, Kenneth Copeland, the ministries, the absolute. Remember Oral Roberts, who said send you money or God's going to call me back, meaning God is going to kill me unless you pay. Remember Jimmy Swaggart? I have sinned. You got a hooker and all this stuff. What are you talking about? Jim Baker. By the way, that was a weird thing. The whole PTL thing was a little bit, they kind of wanted him. What I'm saying is, how can you tell somebody you're not, you haven't encountered demons? Ben Shapiro refers to Tucker as the demon scratching his episodes. Tucker was talking about how he was in bed one time. I was awake and he had scratches on his body from a demon. I learned a long time ago. And whenever somebody tells you something, you just let it go because it's their opinion. They're entitled to it. And there's nothing you can say. When somebody said they heard the voice of God, when somebody said they heard the voice of whoever it is, of saints, of whatever, I'm not going. And I felt a voice that said it's going to be all right. I'll take your word for it. When people tell me I saw a ghost, it was my mother who had just passed away walking through my home. What am I going to say? What do you tell somebody? You don't tell somebody anything. You say, okay, fine. But when you're up, dude, first of all, you're this guy who says he is this braggadocious. He is the guy who comes across as the little boy, the guy who grew up to be this big, rough and tough Marine combat, whatever it is. To some people, like I said, it's the fulfillment of what they want to be. Tough, hyper masculine, brutally lethal. I think I told you this one story. I'm going to tell you again. We have friends of the family whose father landed on Normandy Beach D-Day. Okay? And I heard this. And I am not in a position of saying, well, was it D-Day really? Was he? Because you know how this, whatever you say, whatever they say. Normandy Beach, okay, fine. The first wave, okay, fine. Far be it from me. Lo and behold, we went to a party, and I'm waiting to go to the restroom, and I'm looking at, they've got pictures of family and, Little League, and lo and behold, there's a shadow box of his, what do you call it, money? Shadow frame or shadow box or a shadow box of the father. He's got his CIB combat infantry badge, his papers that say Norman. I mean, it's him. And this guy, his ID card, and I mean, it's there. Everything. It's there. And I got to tell you something. This man later on, imagine the cutest little man, little grandpa, little no, you know what I mean? Just little guy, so sweet. Oh, we love you. No, I love you too. You know what I mean? But there was a picture of him. And he must have been, I don't know, 18, who knows? And he already had his CIB on. He had already landed. He had already been there. And he had a look that you cannot. And this was going up against, Nazi, Hitler, Weimar. I mean, this is machine guns that are just the most inordinate. And he had this look. And it was like, wow. And I remember the time talking to, he had his two daughters were there. And I said, did your father, by the way, he had daughters younger than I am. So he had this, I guess he made up for lost time. Anyway, I said, did your father ever talk about the war? He goes, never. That thing you saw, oh no, he said, no. Put that down. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Oh no, that's behind me. I want to come back. He wants to open up a restaurant. Very, very proud of, and I don't want to see it. But yet, everybody we talk to on the Sean Ryan show, they can't wait to tell you. I'm not saying they're not telling you the truth, but there is this thing right now, especially this little boy world where people love to be that which they are not. And to some people, like Erica, once the narrative gets started, once it commences, once this snowball effect, the next thing you know, they are General Patton, they are Blood and Guts, they are Sergeant Rock, they are Rambo. They can, and then you get stolen valor. Stolen valor. Don Shipley, you've seen this. Stolen valor. How do I say this? They don't remember, if the internet really did this, they don't remember as many claims of people walking around with uniforms that just don't even work. The wrong, the Marine uniform is you should see the specifics for inspection. They take measuring, you would think somebody would say, I'm going to spend a little time. I'm going to make sure my rack or my fruit salad or whatever you call it is in the right order. I'm not going to put, 10 silver stars. I'm just not going to do this. I'm going to spend a little time. They don't even care about it. Because once the momentum of the little boy fantasy starts, and not only that, think about the multiple layers. I'm a big guy to begin with. I'm not only a warrior in terms of battle, physical, actual battle, but I'm one of the Lord's of soldiers. I'm fighting demons. I'm fighting demons. And another thing which makes me sick, you cannot believe the number of people that my wife has said, listen, be very careful. We don't have a list of this group, this guy. They're all full of shit regarding what they did. They did not rappel into somebody. My wife will always tell you, I'm interested in trying to pass legislation to deal with people through education in the United States. Don't tell me about something in the Philippines. God bless them. Don't tell me about something that's going on in Romania. You got that? Or Haiti, or all of these people that basically provide farm teams for little girls who get adopted from parts of the world where there are no birth certificates. There's no recordation of them ever having lived. Consequently, they can be absorbed into the narrative without anybody knowing anything. They just disappear. And nobody, you see what I'm saying? You don't know who they are. And all these guys still afterwards, everybody SEAL Team 6, jumping out of helicopter. What are you doing? By what authority? Can you imagine if somebody from the Austrian army decided to rappel from helicopters in our country, went to some place and basically kidnapped children in our country? They go, oh, no, we're rescuing them. I beg your pardon. And so they make these stories up, and they're all over the place. They're the mendacity, the lying, the prevarication, the fibs, the fantastical, fabulous bullshit. And people just, oh my God, did they do that? Really? Oh, we're going to help you. What? SEAL Team 6? You never hear about them? Remember that movie? What was The Sound of Freedom? Remember that one? Whatever happened in that movie, honey? Gone. Any follow-up on that? I don't know. Remember that one? I don't know. People were crying in there. So what I'm saying is, this country is ready for this. And they're also ready for the con. And the con is what? Remember the idea. Remember Paper Moon? Did you ever see Paper Moon? They would go through the obituaries. They would say, ma'am, could I speak to Terwilliger Sanford Jr.? Oh, that's my late husband. He died. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Molly? Yes. Well, Molly, he bought this Bible. He wanted it for you. See, it's engraved in your name. And they have this engraving set in the car, and they would take this is the movie. They would go from house to house, and whoever died, they say, well, if he ordered it, I'll take it. Well, it's $100. I'll take it. I mean, it's the con is to find out what you need. And when people are bereft of directions, bereft of spirituality, people who fear evil, who fear and feel that they are living in a kind of a battlefield of evil and demons and viciousness and ill, they're perfect. And lo and behold, the new Lone Ranger, SEAL Team 6. Not Delta. That's the one you really got to put. SEAL Team 6. Unquestioned. The guy who ran against Massey, SEAL Team 6. Now, with all due respect to SEAL Team 6, God bless him. But what I'm saying is that's our thing. Remember the old days when we had NSA? People were talking about NSA. NSA was a thing. Now it's CIA. Always understand how this thing is working. Now, your thoughts and comments. Our good friend Ginger Mama says, following the clues, and this is an exclusive, the demons are actually in Ben Shapiro's eyebrows. Lucifalicus, excuse me, the fallen angel of the asymmetrical arches. Very good. Touche. And Marx is a dangerous charlatan whose repeated warnings to Candace to be careful sounded more like a threat to me. Yet, there's something also very, very ominous about the be careful. Be careful. And there's also somebody who always moves in for these motions. You see, the confidence man, the person, always wants to use your fears, to use everything that you have. I'm going to say something, and hope nobody takes offense. But when you sell funeral stuff, you work as a funeral director. Do you ever see that? Anybody ever? You've found yourself in a funeral home after a loved one died, and you want to show your respect when you are just, especially when it is not a death that is expected, somebody too young, somebody unexpected. You are not well. You are not. You know what I mean. You're very susceptible. That's what happens here. And whenever you start to see pictures, lo and behold, of candid shots, Erica loves to be thrown into the arms and shoulders of men. You notice that? Whether it's Trump, J.D. Vance, this guy. It's incredible. I never knew. I mean, if Charlie... I know this. I love thought experiments. And thought experiments are the way that I explain things, as did a lot of people. And if Charlie were sitting right here, and let's assume he did not know this, which I always thought that when you are in, I would imagine you would consider him to be in heaven. I don't believe he is waiting in any kind of purgatory. I don't know. It depends upon what you believe in. In any event, but let's say he's here. So he would not know this. Charlie, did you ever know the name Victor Marx? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. Hey, that's Victor. Oh, yeah. He was on Candace's show. Really? Yeah. As you know, Candace's show is through the roof. Yeah. Listen to what he said. Oh, but first, let me play this thing about the cat head. You're not going to believe this. Oh, and also the this man that he was forced to fire a round so that his fingerprints are on the rifle, and I don't know what. And Charlie would say, "Oh my God." Well, don't get too upset yet. Why? Wait till I show you Erica. Do you see what Erica did? No, what? Oh, I hope you're sitting down. Figuratively. Think about this. What would he say? What do you think he would say? A good friend, Stephen Salty, says, interestingly, he says, we can only trip over the same step so many times. Not really. Not for some folks. Not for some folks. My friends, I've just got to tell you something, and I'm going to say this again to you. If you have never watched Candace Owens, if you've just, this was the, first of all, it was so good surgically. Number one, the intro, basically every stupid thing he said, she had it right there. She was never mean, never rude, never really accusatory. She just let the facts speak for themselves. And she would say, what did you mean by this? And he, no matter what he tried to say, she said, I am not budging. And if anything, we are getting some of the best teaching available in some of the most ridiculously stupid and unbelievably crass lying. I hate lying. And do you know what would be so important and so critical? If this jadrul wanted to go on and really, you would sit there and say, were you in the Marines? Yes, I was for 3 years. Okay. People love the understatement. Like, wow. You don't have to tell people this. How you met with, oh, did you hear what he said about Israel for the IDF? And she says, well, do you believe Israel is committing genocide? He says, well, they are now. Uh-oh. That's the one they're going to pull. Okay, Sparky. You sure about that? I mean, it was just, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's not very smart. I don't understand him. He keeps talking about my bride. Men who call their wives their bride, I don't know why that bothers me. You know, it's a free country. Or people who call their wives Mrs., you know, their name, like, well, Mrs. Johnson says, what? And the worst one of them all is when I think didn't Reagan call your wife mommy? Now, sometimes if you've got kids, you could say, go tell mommy. That's different because that's what the kids call them. But when you don't have kids and you're calling your mom mommy, and I don't mean the Latino mommy, mamita, como anda, you know, I'm not talking about that. It's strange because it almost like it's a centerpiece. Well, please tell me you'll see that. Please tell me you'll watch that. Please watch this. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Look at this one. Somebody says, please show me a picture of her. Look at this. C. Griffith says, show me a picture of her and the kids. Yes. And don't tell me, you're right about this. And don't tell me that Charlie's parents are seeking. I mean, I don't think they want to be on TV, but she never mentions them. Remember the last time Erica said, oh, Charlie, oh, his parents, yeah. But he loved my mother. Oh, they were so, she just makes shit up. She just makes it up. Have you ever met people? They just create narratives. They create stories. You go, where did you get this from? Where did you get this? I don't know. And she says this, well, there's, one night when I was sitting there and I was I was eating in the dark and I was eating Captain Crunch, because, that's what a mom eats at 10 o'clock. I like a lot of milk. I'm eating Captain Crunch. She's just going off of this story about this narrative, like she's describing this. And I had my fuzzy slippers on. It was late at night. The kids were asleep. and it was dark, and I didn't have a time, and I just sat down, and I was reading the Bible at candlelight. It's like, what you're just making this up. Even Jesus is saying, oh, come on. I mean, none of it's real. And the best ever was when Charlie was saying, and I was a virgin, like you too, right, honey? She said, Jesus is Lord? What? I didn't say that. You're a virgin, right? Because, your videos, you said you never went on and dated it. Praise be the King. Now, wait a minute. She never answered the question. Come on. Remember, as the great Gordon Soley said, some people would rather climb up a tree and lie than stand there and tell the truth. All right, my friends, thank you. Please watch this. Watch this one. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. I can't do it any justice. Watch it. And maybe one day I'll take Candace's stuff and put it on mine and say, why don't you just watch it? You watch it. Tell me what you think. I'd rather tell you what I think and what I remember and what you will remember too, because it's just absolutely incredible. She is just. So anyway, my friends, that's it. Thank you so much. By the way, thank you for your kindness to Mrs. L. Thank you so much. Thank you for following Lynn's Warriors. She is the warrior princess queen of them all. And you don't know. They can't stand her. Oh my God. The big tech bots and ghouls and trolls. Oh, bring them on. Bring them on. So please show your resistance to this by following her at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Thank you for this. Thank you for the kind super chats. You all are beautiful. So nice of you. I appreciate this. It is 92 degrees today. It is nice and sticky. Nice and sticky. That's a good album. Sticky Fingers. Sticky. Anyway, so please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, my friends, love this video. Like this video. And keep watching. And thank you so much. Thank you for letting me come into your... I love today's new schedule. I'll get a lot of our European friends, a lot of our UK friends. I hope you like it. I like it. I think it's working terrific. There's a different vivacity that I'm noticing, and I'm sure you have as well. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Go watch Candace. Watch this Victor Marx thing. but don't be drinking any milk or eating during it. You'll be snorting your victuals and your viands through your nose. In any event, have a great day. Don't forget the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.